This is Houston. Say again, please.
5, 4, 3, 2,
We've had a main B plus undervolt.
0.
Roger, main B undervolt. Okay, stand by 13. We're looking.
Hi and welcome to yet another round of favorite images with the UFAH members Neville Thompson, Martine Graney, Billy Carson, Rami Bailan and myself, Thomas Mikey. And today I got the honor to present one of my favorite images. And this one you see on the screen now was one I found a few days ago, and it's an orbiter image, and I call it an ultra zoom orbiter image. This image is taken from a distance of 320 kilometers away by the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter, and it's downloaded by the JP2 download. That is a product of NASA. That is a high resolution image, and it's viewed in what's called high view, a software you can get on NASA's homepage, which probably is the best way to get the highest possible resolution on these orbiter images. So what you are looking at here is an object that could be 100 to 200 meters in diameter, viewed from about 320 kilometers away. And when I saw this object, my very first thought was, ironically enough, that someone have left a donut down there and stepped on it on one side. And then I start zooming on this JP2 image that I had from NASA in the high view software, and got pretty close. And the closer I got on it, the more it to me looks like some saucer-shaped object, partly stuck in the eyes, and that end of it, the one half of it that is away from the eyes, is heavily damaged or destroyed somehow. Looks like it's been blown up or something, but I still see the round shape in front of it, and a kind of a hole in the middle of this object that makes me believe that this could be some kind of a crash site of a flying disc. But I'm looking very much forward to hear my dear colleagues in the UFAH family here, what they have to say about this. And as usual, we are starting with Neville Thompson today. Neville, what's your thoughts on this?
It actually does look like something on its side. I can't say whether it being a craft or whatever. I don't know it, but I don't know what those long bits are coming off it. Like, it looks strange. It could be, I don't know. It could be buried in the sand or whatever it is, and these bits that are look as if they're hanging down off it. There could be actually fluid from inside of it seeping out of it, or whatever, or well, it's crashed and it's actually caused fluid that's been trapped in the surface to flow out, because you've got another another bit as if it's flowed out of the surface. It could be oil, it could be something that's deep in the deep in the earth come out, and it's caused these marks on the sand. It looks as if it's been spurted out, you know, and it's left the marks on. But that, it looks like it could be something on its edge, with a round circle in the centre of it. You can see something like a round circle. I don't know. I would like to have a clearer image, but as you see, this is about the clearest image you're going to get of it. I don't know. I'm in two minds whether it's a saucer or I don't know. But it certainly is a weird image, like.
Indeed it is. Indeed it is.
Okay.
Martina?
Okay, that's my take.
Yes, thank you, Neville. Martina Graney, what's your thoughts on this one?
I've thought a lot about these. I think this is the South Polar region, if I'm not mistaken, because there's a lot.
The North Polar region.
Or the North Polar region.
It's described as the North Polar ice region.
Yeah, it's all covered in a permafrost, which is melting, and because of global warming and the Martian summer, whatever, and a lot of these strange markings that are making their way up to the surface, which people mistakenly thought were trees, are actually it's pressurized carbon dioxide, which is forcing its way. It's a gas which is forcing its way up to the surface and literally shooting out. In many cases, there's we call them geysers here. I think it's geysers, is it, in America? Geysers, yeah. And they're leaving these streaks, and there's lots of seepage going on, and you know, it's probably oily. That would explain the colour of it. I can see that. You know, how you were drawn to that strange shaped one. It does look different than many of the others around it. I can't tell whether it is a solid body or whether it is part of this liquid carbon dioxide process going on. I think the streak running downwards from it is probably this oily substance that is leaking up from the subsurface. But there is what looks like an indentation on the top, doesn't it? Which is very odd. Rather than that, I really don't know what that could be, apart from just similar to the others, but just of a more solid consistency, maybe. Very good, very interesting.
Thank you, Martina. Billy Carson?
Yes. I'm one of the ones that actually originally used to be fooled on these North Polar and South Polar regions with this compressed gas coming through the ice, thinking that they were trees. So I'm actually one of the ones. Actually, I think Neville O'Brien actually straightened me out and told me what it really was in those regions. So that helped me out a lot. But this particular object that Thomas has found, it definitely does not seem to fit in with the surrounding area, and it seems like it has more mass. You know, everything else seems like kind of grainy and kind of streakish, but this almost seems like something that has mass. Now, I don't know if this line that I see across the hemisphere of it on the side is caused by enhancement, but if it's really there, if that line is really there, it's almost like the thing is coming together at that point, whatever this object is, which would, to me, would tell me that it would be probably artificially constructed. As far as the way that it looks in the back, almost like it's, you know, just kind of broken and dangling and dripping. I'm going to pop an image through. I just popped an image through on Skype where you can look at it later or now, but if you saw the movie After Earth with Will Smith in it, when their ship crashed, it had all these like very stringy pieces and things coming out of it, and it kind of reminds me of this a little bit. I don't know if it's a UFO or not. It could be an object that that crashed there a very long time ago, and now the ice is melting away from it. It could have been carried there in the flood and just got stuck there and froze for many, who knows how many years, and now the ice is coming away from it. But you see the indentation on the top and that line along the side, it kind of almost tells me that this probably might be an artificial structure of some sort, and it appears to be kind of large. If you viewing this from the satellite, how big do you think this is?
I would estimate it to be something between 100 and 250 meters in diameter. It's not easy to estimate without a measurement, but there is a tool in the high view that that can measure how many pixels there are, and then you can go find in the NASA description explanation of how many. I think it was every object below, I think it was 80 centimeter would not be visible, and would take certain amounts of pixels to be visible. You can go calculate. I cannot remember the exact number, so I will not go further.
I can tell just because of the sheer size of this from the satellite image already that it's a fairly large image, a fairly large object. It wouldn't be a very small thing. This is pretty big.
It is.
So, yeah, I'm really beginning to think that it's something here. I mean, that line along the side and that indentation on top kind of, to me, gives it away that this might be an artificially constructed object, and now eventually will be fully exposed, you know, when the ice completely melts. But this is a very cool object.
Thank you. Rami, Bar, Ilan, what's your thoughts on this image?
Well, this is beautiful find. I agree to all the things that have been said already, and I can add to it two things. One of that donut shape thing, the circle in the middle and the surrounding also look to me like spiral from this angle, which I find very interesting. It's like a spiral thing going on in there. The design of it anyway. The second thing I want to add, I think no one else talked about it, but Coach, that he was talking about that line in the middle, which I find also interesting. On the right side, we have a pattern of the ice. Is it ice? That reminds me of fingerprints. And I find it really neat and awesome.
Yeah.
I think that this shows movement of air or wind to create this, if it's similar like what we see on Earth. And that's about it. I thought it's cool looking.
Yes, thank you very much. So that was the orbit image from this round from me, and with these words we are gonna end this episode. And that was from Neville Thompson, Martine Graney, Billy Carson, and Rami Bailan, myself, Thomas Mikey, that said those words. Until we see us again, take care. Bye.
Pleasure.
All right.